Crack the Code escape room is a version of an escape the room video game, or to someone that's not familiar with the concept, a live game of Clue.
Beth Brown is the owner of Crack the Code escape room in Staunton. It's an interactive game.
I did my first escape room about 4 years ago, and I quickly became an enthusiast. I used to travel a lot, so every time I would leave town, I'd look for the nearest escape room. And I kind of joked around about opening my own escape room for a little while, and about a month later signed the lease, and the rest is history.
Players must solve the puzzles in order to escape the rooms. Each team will have an hour to find clues, solve puzzles, and get out. There are 4 rooms, and each room has a theme, which is constantly changing throughout the year.
You've got Back to the 80s, Haunted Mansion, Steampunk City, and the Dark Mage's Rats. So a little something for everyone.
Surprisingly, it is not the most intellectual person in the room that usually solves the puzzles.
No, absolutely not. In fact, you'll have a group of 5 or 6, and everybody's brain works differently. Critical thinking outside the box, problem solving. Those are the biggest components of an escape room. So no, it's not always the brightest person in the room that's going to solve the puzzle. And it's really funny because you'll have a group of 5 or 6 go in there, and one person would be great at one type of puzzle and the other person's great on another type of puzzle. So it's a good mixture.
According to Brown, the reality game is all about working as a team.
If you don't work together, you're probably not going to escape the room.
Yes, there are various distractions while playing the game. Music, sound effects, and other surprises awaits the curious.
It's a good job. I get to meet a lot of interesting people. Not a lot of people, when I tell them I work in an escape room, know what an escape room is.
Meet Lance Sams. He's a game master at Crack the Code escape room.
You can always ask for help, and that's why the game masters are here. People like me and my other coworkers are sitting behind a computer or behind a walkie-talkie. They're basically like to give you hints as you're going along.
Sams has been working with the reality game for more than 6 months. He says he's been really impressed by some of the players.
One of my first times running a room on my own, I had a group of 2 solve the Back to the 80s room, and I think they had 12 minutes left on the clock, and they'd only taken 1 clue, and that was absolutely amazing. The Bachelorette party, and they got out of Steampunk City, which is one of our hardest rooms. Using only, I think they used 3 clues, but they got out with I think 20 minutes left on the clock, and that was really impressive. I was kind of hoping at the end that they wouldn't ask for any more clues, because for our leaderboard, you have to use 3 clues or less, and they were on their 3rd clue. So if they asked for another one, they wouldn't be on the leaderboard. But luckily, they were able to figure it out without needing any more help.
Adults are not always the better players.
I find sometimes with family groups especially, the kids will be a little more eager to get clues, whereas adults are a little more like, no, I can figure this out on my own. And sometimes we'll be sitting back there being like, oh, you need a clue. And the kids are just sitting there like, oh, can we get a clue? And can we get a clue? And the parents will be like, no, we can figure it out. And I'm sitting there like, I mean, I'm sure you can, but I'm here to help. So I've got a clue ready for you when you need it.
Look, don't be frightened by the challenge. In the event you find yourself unable to escape,
we'll go and get them. We don't leave them in there. Yeah, so if the time runs out, we'll come take you out of the room, take your photo, and hopefully you'll come back and solve it again next time, or even try a brand new room next time.
The cost for the game is $25 per player. According to Brown, the game is perfect for friends and family events, corporate team building, birthday and anniversary parties, and more. In Staunton, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.